What's that? Breaking news. Teofimo Lopez and Top Rank. There may be some legal litigation going on. I want to break down what's out there, what's going on. Teofimo, Top Rank, takeover. We're going to see. Is it going to be the takeover or is it going to be a makeover? Different rumors are starting to swirl regarding the future of Teofimo Lopez and Top Rank in that whole relationship. So, as always, because I am the best in the business, I'm going to let you guys hear it, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. So, Teofimo did a brand new interview with Robert Newman, and we'll find out what he said. I'll be back to give you guys my thoughts on the matter. Roll the clip.
Mentioning to a fan a few moments ago, you may be in some litigation or whatever with Top Rank. Can you speak to that a little bit?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
All right.
I love Top Rank.
But is that gonna?
This is boxing. This is Top Rank.
Is that gonna keep you, from moving forward in the first of the year? I mean, are you gonna have a fight before the end of the year, or is that probably out of the question right now?
That's the thing that we're talking about at the moment. We're gonna see what they want to do as far as Top Rank goes, and the September 27th date fell off for me, and we couldn't meet eye to eye. And I know they said that I may not fight the rest of the year, so we'll see what happens.
Wow. Now, the audio, it sounded like there was a lot of ambient noise, so maybe it was a little bit more difficult for you guys to hear. But I'm going to break down what he said in case you had difficulty hearing that in that environment because, it's a fight week environment and whatnot. So basically what Teofimo Lopez is saying is that he was asked, hey, I heard you over talking with media or a fan about you're possibly in litigation with Top Rank at the moment. He says, no comment. I love Top Rank. We're going to see what they want to do September 27th. So he was supposed to be back. Last fight was Steve Claggett. He's supposed to come back. That's actually my brother's birthday. Shout out to my brother. September 27th. He said that date fell off for me because we couldn't see eye to eye, whatever that means. And he says, and now they say I might not fight for the rest of the year, so we'll see what's up. Now, mind you, since you guys have not, you're hearing it, and it wasn't super audible, but you guys don't have the visual to go with it in this video. So I'm going to give you guys my perspective of it. When he was asked about Top Rank, it looked like the guards went up, if you will. The look on his face, he was chewing his gum real hard, and he looked real shifty-eyed. You ever see that old school, like in the 90s, they had that cat clock? It was like Felix the cat, black. It was a black cat, and it was like a wall clock. And then Felix the cat, his eyes would just shift from side to side, and his tail would sway as well, right? That's what Teofimo looked like. That old school Felix the cat clock, where it was all shifty-eyed and moving from side to side as he was talking about this, right? And for me, that's kind of a red flag. See, this is the cat I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Yeah, if you know, you know. Some of you too young to remember this, but I remember. So as far as Teofimo Lopez, this is very interesting. Now, if you ask your boy Ego if this is believable, I will say that, yes, this is insanely believable because, first of all, Teofimo and Top Rank in the past have seemingly been at odds. There's been tension there, especially with Teofimo and stepson to Bob Arum, Todd DeBuff. He was at one point, this is when he was doing the George Kambosos fight, and then Triller initially won the purse bid for it, and then Matchroom, Eddie Hearn's rematch room, was the second highest bidder, and Top Rank was the third bidder. At that point in time, a couple years ago, I remember you heard Teofimo, and he was like speaking down on Top Rank and saying, hey, if they don't want to bid on my fight, we going over to Triller. It's the Triller takeover. And Todd DeBuff, if he want a war, he can get it. Like, he was talking spicy. And you've also heard over the years after that, Teofimo kind of takes shots and seemingly not seem eye to eye with the vision that Top Rank has for him. and he said stuff like ESPN, which Top Rank has an exclusive boxing contract with. He said ESPN can keep the blacks, like saying that they were getting preferential treatment, the Shakur Stevensons and I don't know, various black fighters on the platform. Devin Haney was there for 3 fights, things like that. So this is definitely not a shock. Another thing is we were hearing rumors that Top Rank wanted to make Teofimo versus Brian Norman Jr., right? And then the fight fell apart. So Teofimo considering moving up to 47, and they were trying to make the Brian Norman. So I don't know if Top Rank's trying to get Teofimo beat. I'm not saying he absolutely has no chance versus Brian Norman, but I would say that would be a dangerous first fight in a new division to move up 7 pounds and fight, you know, a powerful, young, explosive guy who just had a great performance versus Santillan. So I definitely believe that there is some issues. And if you look online, there's rumors floating around that Teofimo could be trying to sign with Eddie Hearn, low-key behind the scenes. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. You know my style. Y'all know me and my style. I don't like to overly speculate, and it's not that serious. I don't have to spend a bunch of time, but it definitely looks like there's friction. He's saying we're not seeing eye to eye, and they're saying that I might not fight for the rest of the year. So Teofimo, I think part of it is, I think Top Rank, they run a tight ship, and they want you to kind of be subservient to the process that they have for you. And they don't like rebellious, out of line fighters that don't go with that programming, you know, take it or leave it. That's what I believe. I believe that if you if they like fighters that like Lomachenko over the years, we've never really heard about Lomachenko complaining about pay or who was next. He kind of just, the relationship seems to work. But I'm noticing a lot of these young fighters, particularly with Top Rank, that's where there's issues. Like even Terrence Crawford, you know, towards the end, they weren't seeing eye to eye on the vision. Shakur Stevenson recently, his last fight, he started going in on Top Rank and saying they don't want to promote me. They don't want their boy Lomachenko to get beat, and they don't want to show black fighters love. You know, he was saying all these things and pretty much going that. And now you have Teofimo. So it doesn't look like they could keep Teofimo happy. We'll see what happens next. Similarly, Edgar Berlanga, who just fought Canelo over the weekend, he did interviews leading up to the fight. He said, me and Top Rank are cool, but I didn't get along with Bob's stepson, Todd DeBuff. And he said, me and my manager bought us out of our contract because we didn't see eye to eye. So again, another example of a young fighter who kind of wants to do things his way. He said in the interview, Berlanga, he said, we was like, we want Canelo. And he said Top Rank was telling them that's not a thing. That's not going to happen. So go this way. And he's like, Top Rank wanted to go this way, and we had visions to go this way. And credit to Berlanga, because he bought himself out of his contract on some Floyd stuff. You know, Floyd Mayweather showed fighters the young way. If you don't like the direction your career is headed, instead of sitting there and, like in boxing, languishing on the ropes for 7 to 10 years, you know, until your contract finally runs out, and then now you've wasted prime years of your career. You do it, you stop the bleeding, you just take the knife out, you know, and then you move on. You take the dagger out, and then you continue to progress. And then guys like Berlanga and Floyd, Berlanga just had a career high payday, and we already know what Floyd went on to do when he wasn't happy. And he ended up getting the Oscar De La Hoya fight, which was a Top Rank fighter also. But when he was with Top Rank, he couldn't get that fight. So maybe Teofimo sees this and he feels like, hey, I'm one of the, because the other thing that shows me that Teofimo, there's some issues there, is if you listen, I listen to what people say. Teofimo keeps talking about, he said, I'm one of Top Rank's only stars. I'm one of their last stars remaining, which is kind of true. Terrence Crawford left, Pacquiao left, Berlanga left. Like, and I'm not saying Berlanga was really a star, but he at least has a mouthpiece and, you know, youth and some power or whatever. And then, like I said, Shakur, T.O.'s the last of kind of a dying breed. Tyson Fury, they have him, yes, but he's coming off of getting battered by a guy he called a middleweight, Alexander Usyk, great fighter. So we'll see how this plays out for Teofimo. But I feel like Teofimo, he knows that Top Rank doesn't have they have on the way up guys like Abdullah Mason and stuff like that, Keyshawn Davis. But as far as like established stars and people who are right now in the here and now, they are ready for stardom and maybe could do a pay-per-view. They don't really have that because that takes time. It takes years. So I think Top Rank and Tio aren't seeing eye to eye. I think Teofimo, he kind of wants to strong arm Top Rank to get some of his demands met, probably financially. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does go elsewhere at some point, or they're going to have to maybe renegotiate his contract, because I don't think Teofimo, so far, he doesn't look like the type to really budge. And I think Teofimo's like, I beat Lomachenko. I did good stuff there. I was on the Heisman night. I was Fortnite. I was emoting. I move up, beat Josh Taylor. I've earned my keep. You got to pay like you weigh. And then also, I'm just going to leave you with this. Tio has been kind of kissing up to Canelo Alvarez, that he's looking at Canelo as like a mentor, if you will. So imagine a person like Canelo and you're around that and you're seeing how he moves and you're in Lake Tahoe with them training and you see the cabin or whatever Airbnb he rented. You see the life he's living, and then you feel like, man, I'm talented. Like Canelo's his own boss. That has to be inspiring, to say the least. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather did an interview one time where he was like, I was talking to my billionaire buddies, and they was like, I got these yachts and planes, and he said he was on his like way up. He didn't have those things at that point. Floyd was like, I asked him, I said, you got to show me how to get that. It's cool. I don't want to just be on your yacht. I want to get my own. I want to have my own plane, stuff like that. And I think as these fighters mature and get older, they're starting to at least feel like they understand the business and they're not just settling. So, I can't be mad at it. I don't know all the details, but if you believe you're not being cashed out your worth, then I can't knock it. I can't knock the hustle, because I know I'm not going to stay in the situation where I'm not being treated, especially financially, with the respect that my craft and my creativity deserves. Like, you're not finna shortchange me. I do this by myself. I just mess around and, start my own empire, if anything. So we'll see how it plays out for Tio.